I didn't know if he needed this. The only gun we have is what I gave him when he got out of the Marines.
Do you live here?
No.
What are you doing
I'm
here?
on my way to Zephyr Hills. My cousin's moving back to Michigan. I'm going to help her pack. He moved out here 3-4 years ago. I knew he was here, and I looked at my phone. I thought, he's right on the way by just 3-4 miles.
You couldn't call him?
I'm from Deerfield. He doesn't return the calls. I don't know if he has me blocked. But his wife is Brazilian, and it's been 4 years, officer. I don't come. I even left a note on the outside of the gate. I'm not trespassing, nor did I have any intent on doing that, but I don't know what else to do. He married a Brazilian, and they hate me. They have their own family now. I raised him by myself. He's a good law-abiding citizen, graduated from the Marine Corps, put himself through college. He's a decent kid. This isn't who I raised. And then he said he's calling the police, and I said, take my tag, and here's my color, and I just have a dog for the dog.
So what do you want? What are you wanting to do, though? I'm not. You're wanting to what?
I want to talk. Really, who I want to talk to is his wife, and she acts like I'm threatening her. Sir, I've never threatened. I've never even hit my children. You know, was a good single mom. I married 5 years ago, and he told me, Mom, I respect your opinion. Should I marry her? And all I said was, you're marrying into a lot of college debt. But I knew there was a fine line there, and I said, you do what God tells you to do. Preacher's kids, not me. I'm the lonesome single mom with hundreds of Brazilians all living, but he has Indian land, and I'm super proud of him. I've never been out here. I knew he lived out here, but I'm from the Deerfield Beach, just outside of Boca. My husband and I are building up in Satsuma near Plaka. So we're up here, and we stop at that little, but I don't have any way to reach him. He blocked me on social media, and my grandmother just died, or my mom just died 2 months ago, and I got the dog from a pound, and I thought, I'm going to stop, let her go potty, but that wasn't my intent. My husband probably wouldn't be on course because he's seen me hurt over and over and over again. I stopped sending Christmas gifts because I was either getting them returned or just no acknowledgement. Even on Mother's Day, they always told me, you're the best mom ever. We've seen you work 2-3 jobs. Statistically, my son would say I should be in prison with 5 mama daddies, I'm proud of him, but I'm not proud of this. How can you be proud of this?
So, I'm trying to understand what's going on here.
You're not my therapist.
Here today. Basically, there's some issues between you and him and the wife.
It's more the wife. He even told me once when I visited him when they lived in Pompano and I lived in Deerfield or Coconut Creek, just before everything was going down. Everybody was standing there to greet me at the door, and he's standing behind going like this and pointing at the wife like, you need to leave, even though she had open arms. So I didn't raise him. I mean, he married someone like me, a strong type A, and she didn't act threatened, but he was nervous. Oh, you need to leave, standing behind her back. And I said, please have Isabel come out here and talk to me. And he goes in, he shoos the children in real quick. I've only met the one grandchild. She's probably 9-10 years old now, and I met her when she was 4.
Has there ever been any physical?
I've never laid a finger on him. Probably
or her, or anything like that after they've been married.
Threatening. No, I know. When I was over there, my mom was like almost 90 and made a Valentine for the kids. And she'd had a stroke. My mom had been in my care for 13 years. She just died. But I was kind of upset because the Valentine's Day was in the car, and they have little kids, or at that time just the one.
Let me get you a towel.
I got it.
Okay.
Thank you. I didn't know. I just thought I'd jump the gun. I'm as legal as legal can be, but
Okay.
He's Cherokee. Born in Oklahoma. His dad's Cherokee. He was the last Indian card carrier on his side of the family. Honey, I really don't want you in there. You're probably covered with burrs. And so I'm really proud that he got Indian land, I assume, because I see everything Indian out here. But, I got upset with Isabel and I said, where's Grandma's Valentine? She said, oh, it's out in the car. And I said, could you please go get it so we can put it on the refrigerator? And she got really upset. And he came downstairs like there was a fight and an altercation, and there never was. She went off. And then he like body slammed me, and all I could think of is get my mother safely out of the house. It's downpouring. She's in a wheelchair, and it was cold. Just get her in the car. That was all. I didn't lift a finger. I'm not that way. I've never hit a fly. I got fast feet and a big mouth, but I don't physically fight like that. I never have. And I just, from one thing this big, just exploded. I even left word that their grandmother had just died. The kid's great-grandmother. Nothing, not even a visit, not a call, nothing. But I can't change that. But how can you proclaim to be a Christian? Your parents are pastors. You have a doctorate in pastoral and act like that. I don't know why.
Well,
but I pull up and he walks out to the fence, and I had like a gleam of hope. He's seen this vehicle before. And then all of a sudden he goes, oh no. And I'm like, you're my son. And then he backed off into the house. He goes, I'm calling the police. And I said, I wish you would, Eli. I'm 59, 5'2", 125. My plate number's this, and you know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how to fix y'all's problem, but showing up unannounced, listen to what I'm saying. Showing up unannounced, you now know that this ain't going to work.
No, and I left a card. You know, that was really all I meant to do. They were all outside. I didn't expect to see, I didn't even know if they were home. And it wasn't like, oh, she came from Deerfield all the way to Okeechobee to stalk me. No, I'm on my way. You can even check my GPS. I added him on the way, and I thought, he's
and the reason you stayed here is because he said he's calling the cops.
Okay. And I thought maybe there would be a glimmer of hope.
Okay. All right. Well, ma'am, I've talked to you, so let me talk to him.
Stay right here.
Okay. All right. Basically, I did talk to her. Basically, she's, she said that there was some trouble in the past, I guess, and she was wanting to stop by and leave a card. She wasn't wanting to come in and talk. She'd love to talk to you, she said, but she's basically leaving a card. And when you said that when you come up, she had a hope that you would talk to her, and you said you were going to call the cops. So when you said you were calling the cops, she waited here for the cops to come because she didn't want to leave. She don't understand. She could have left. I don't guess.
You want me to open this, sir? I apologize.
What's that?
I don't mean to be disrespectful.
No, you're good. You're good. We can talk to the gate. It's not a big deal. So I don't know what's going on between y'all, and I'm here for what's going on today. Okay. I'm not a therapist, so I can't fix her problem. I can't fix your problem. So, what do you want done here? Do you just want her to ask her to leave, or do you want her trespass?
Could I have her trespass?
I can trespass her from your property.
Okay. Yes, please. She has this is what she does. She'll show up. She'll throw her hands in the air, and she'll say, she'll like start singing "Jesus loves me." And I'll tell her to leave, tell her to leave, and then eventually she will, and by the time the cops get there, she's gone.
Is her husband aware of this stuff?
That's the thing, I don't know. So,
ma'am, I told you I talked to you.
Okay.
And now please just sit back and let me talk to him, and then I'll figure this out.
Thank you so much. I would really like to talk to him.
Okay, ma'am, it's not going to happen right now.
Right.
So I ask you to get in your car so you're not interrupting us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I forget where we were. I apologize.
What's that?
I forget where we were.
She shows up unannounced.
Yes, yeah. So, you asked about her husband. So, I don't know. About the time, so she's done this my whole life. But I got married about 10 years ago. My son, who's 5 now, right before he was born, she does this. She'll show up. like, I know you're not a psychiatrist or whatever. I'm just trying to paint a picture. But she'll blow up about this most ridiculous thing. The easiest example I've got is right before my son was born. My grandmother at the time, she just passed away a couple months ago. At the time, she was in like a nursing care. She drew us a picture. My mom brought it over to our house. At that time, we lived in Coconut Creek. Brings it over, and we didn't put it on the kitchen, the refrigerator. To which it turned into you son of a bitch, motherfucker, blah. Hey, I've had enough. Don't do that in front of my kids. I grew up with that. I don't want it.
Yeah.
I told her to leave. And then she slowly backs out, piece of shit, blah, 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 blah. And then she stands in the doorway, continues, I'm calling the cops, and then she's gone. And she's done that more since then. She never gets inside. I always stop her at the door, or won't open the door, something like that. We moved out here about a year ago. And since then, I thought I blocked everything, like all of her numbers and stuff. Apparently, you can still get through on WhatsApp. She just texted me on WhatsApp a little while ago. I didn't see it till just now when you pulled up. But we're 2 hours out of the way. And I knew this was going to happen. She just shows up at your door, at your gate, or whatever. And then if a witness comes, she's going to throw her hands up and say, it's love. It's love. It's love. And I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a priest. She's either insane or evil or mix or something. I want it away. I don't know the law. So the last time we called the cops, he said, unfortunately, I can't trespass her. She's not here.
Right.
You should do it next time.
I can
I don't know how that works, but
yeah,
if you could do it.
Let's just say I've known you your whole life, okay, and I got your telephone number, and so wants me to trespass you off of their property. I know what your voice sounds like. I can testify in court. Yes, I talked to Eli. Okay, I've known him my whole life. I talked to him. I had his number in my phone that we converse all the time, blah, blah, blah. But when you take somebody that we don't know who they are, we don't know, you can give me your telephone number, and it could be your sister playing it, setting your mom up to come over here and get arrested.
Sure.
You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So
I understand. It's like hearsay type.
We have to see them in person.
Sure, I understand.
When we don't know them.
I understand.
So yes, I can trespass her at this point. Now, you know, when you're dealing with somebody that, and you're saying that she's mentally unstable, I'm not.
Sure.
So when you're dealing with somebody mentally unstable, it's hard to rationalize with them, you know. So do you think she's going to understand what trespass means? She thinks she's going to understand and not come back
so
here?
I'm going to be honest with you.
Because she don't understand, does she deserve to go to jail? That's what I'm getting at.
I think she understands it. So here's the thing. From what I've understood, this is family history stuff. From what I understand, before I was born, she went to rehab and was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. Again, this is like family history type stuff, so I've never seen anything, I don't know. But I do know I've dealt with this my whole life. Like, this is basic level stuff. She has clarity. If you tell her to leave right now, she's gonna leave, most likely.
Get herself in a position where she becomes a victim?
100%. 100%. It could be tomorrow, or it could be like now. We've lived out here a whole year full time. For about a year, almost a year, we were kind of part-time back and forth between Coconut Creek. For a year full-time, and then she shows up. So today, if you tell her to leave, she's probably going to leave. She's probably going to understand. That's not going to last.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. I told my kids. So they know her as Gigi. They just know, like, hey, if Gigi shows up at the gate, or at the time it was Coconut Creek, at our front door, shut the door, lock the door, call mom and dad. And that's exactly what happened just now. I was working in the back. I'm actually fixing the fence right now. I was working, you can kind of see in the back, doing some stuff back there. And I saw a car pull up here. It's not very common to have someone out here. I've got my neighbors Butch and Brian over here. There's a family that just built a house over here. There's a family that they own this and they like camp there and stuff every now and then. But outside of that, it's kind of like, I didn't recognize the car, but a rational person's going to say, it's probably, I know this guy has a white SUV. I don't know what type it is, but it was sitting there long enough. I was like, all right, cool. My son was out here, the 5-year-old, and we start walking toward the gate, and I got maybe halfway to the light pole right here, and that's when I stopped in my tracks, like, I think that's her. And my son, he likes to ride the gate, so he starts, he calls me Pi. My wife's Brazilian. Starts running toward the gate. Pi, jump! Or I think he was wanting me to push him on the gate. Go inside, lock the door, and he knows, like he just knows. Go inside, lock the door. He stops, goes back inside, and he got to the door, and he stutters a little bit. And he goes, no, seriously, this time it's serious. Go inside, lock the door. He goes inside and he followed the rules. But like, these are the standards I put my kids to. And I keep the gate locked because I know she's gonna come. My neighbor Brian over here, he jokes. He's like, if my gate's open, walk in, man. He's a good old boy. And I would love to live that way, but this is because of that. She would have walked all the way up to the door with my kids out here running. My daughter was out, just went inside. The other thing is, you were asking about her husband. So that's what it was. I want to go back. I don't know if he knows. I'd like to think that most men.
You don't have a conversation. You don't have a relationship with him.
No. That
you could converse with him.
So leading up to that point, about 5 years ago, when I was like, "Don't talk." Like, I'm done. They were, if I remember at the time, they were either engaged or just got engaged, something. And we had family stuff like Thanksgiving Day or like Christmas Day dinner, or a random meal or something like that. But I honestly didn't know him that well. I met him a handful of times, and that was kind of the end of it. There's a side of me that's like, he's got to know, like, he seems so normal. But like, I have a folder on OneDrive, Microsoft Cloud Drive right now, and I pulled it up just now just in case. Like, I'm prepared for today. And she's got messages going back to that time, like, your wife faked a miscarriage, blah blah, like horrible things. So I can't help but wonder, like, he's got to know. But at one point, how could you stay with someone for so long without knowing? She's good at covering.
Well, here's the bottom line. No matter if they're your mom and dad, you have to protect your children and your family from any kind of evil or danger. Get that. What I'm getting at is she getting help for it?
I don't think so.
And do you have a relationship with him, or could develop a relationship with him to try to get her help for it? I mean,
I've had to cut so many people off. Here's what happens. It's my whole life. She develops like an intense love bond with whoever her new best friend is. That lasts for a year, and then it blows up in flames, and they're a piece of shit, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. So I'm surprised that hasn't happened with her husband yet. Also, I do have a relationship with my aunt and uncle, her brother and sister, and they've done the same thing. They've cut her off as well. At one time, I was like, hey guys, do you think her husband, so it's my stepfather.
I'm not that big bad person. You scared me.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you.
I don't know what you call this, but he's getting a terrible thing of what a bad parent I am right now. I can tell you that. But he called for backup?
No.
Oh.
Usually, since we're the North Deputies, we tend to just back each other up since it's just me and him out here.
That's my son. He's a Marine.
Yes, ma'am.
He's an Indian. We're from Oklahoma.
Okay.
He bought the land he's the last Cherokee card carrying in his family.
Oh, wow.
Married a Brazilian he met in Tulsa. After he served a tour of Afghanistan, he went back to school. Met her in college.
Mom, your opinion means everything to me. Well, I'm not stepping in that doo-doo. I just said pray about it. They got married. But I knew. And now I'm this horrible parent. I tried to commit suicide when they got married. I mean, there's just all this crazy crap coming out of his mouth right now.
Okay.
I've never even so much as slapped the kid growing up. I was a single mom. Now, our relationship was like, I should be in prison right now with 4 mama daddies out there, because I was single, raised. His dad had very little involvement. And he said, I'm going to be like you, and I'm going to work my butt off, because I sometimes work 2 jobs to stay away from any type of government, anything. And he saw that, so he has a very strong work ethic. But within by the time they walked the altar, there were hundreds of Brazilians, and there was me. And everything went to shit. And now I'm not allowed to be near his wife, because she says I threatened her. I've never even threatened to flee. It's not in me. I got upset because my mother, who passed away, they didn't reach out, nothing, had made a Valentine, and it wound up in their car all smushed on her floorboard. Why didn't it go to the refrigerator? Because it was a wall magnet.
Okay.
And that's what ended the relationship 4 years ago.
Between you and your son?
No, his wife.
Oh.
I threatened her. She was 6 months pregnant. I yelled in front of the 3-year-old granddaughter. I've never even met the other grandkids. I'm not bonded with them because I've never met them. But the older one is probably 9, and I've never even seen her since she was 3 or 4. So Lord only knows. But as you can see, my next stop is Quality Inn in Zephyr Hills. We all were down in the Deerfield area.
Okay.
And I thought, he's just a mile or 2 out of the way. I got a card that was hanging there on that post. The officer handed it through the fence, and he came out and goes to see who was out here. The kids were, and he would shoot everybody up back inside. He said, I'm calling the police. And I said, go ahead, son. Obviously, my husband wouldn't be very happy. I've since married.
Okay.
Because he said, he's going to think you're a basket case if you drive out there. But I have sent Christmas cards, everything I could think of, get no response or get them returned, no Mother's Day, nothing. And I used to be the best mother in the whole wide world. And in 2016, it all changed.
Right.
And everybody just says, give it time, give it time, give it time. And that's what I do. But I'm also a mom. I'm also a single mom that raised him the best I knew how. And I'm proud of what he's done for himself, but this isn't my kid. This is not my kid. And I'm a little racist against the Brazilians because her family are pastors. We're in the Bible. He takes one verse, got to protect my wife, and when are things not healable by Jesus? I mean, where do you draw the line? I mean, how long can you ride on that? You haven't even so much as checked on your mom. Do you think all this therapy and everything you think your mom needs, have you checked to see maybe if she's gotten it? You don't open the mail, and I can guarantee you the card that he just handed Eli, he'll just throw it away. So maybe it was a big mistake. Maybe this was a huge mistake, but I thought when the officer would come out, I just said, I don't even want to see him. Bring her out. Because the one time when they were living down where we're at in Deerfield Beach, I went to the door and I had some gifts or whatever. And this was when the falling out had happened. I gave it some time and went over there. I don't remember what holiday it was. It was cold, probably Christmas. And Eli was standing behind his wife and the little kids or whatever. And he's going, no. And he's pointing at his wife, and she's standing in front. And that told me right there that he was afraid of her. She's a strong type A. And then acts real like, oh, I'm going to get beat up. I've never heard a fly. I've got a big mouth and fast feet, and that's it. And they say, your kid will marry someone like your mom or me. But I've never been that rude to anyone, ever. Right. And we all have issues. I'm the first one to run down to the altar and pray, God, fix this or fix me. I mean, I'll take blame or fault, but why does it have to be permanent? He just married, or my mother just passed away on April 11th, and I got the dog, and and not even as much as, nothing. 4 years ago, he would come over to my condo and get on his knees, and he had this book he got for her, and it's full of his handwriting. What was your favorite color? Your first car? This, that. Well, her memory was sharp. And she'd be sitting on the playpen couch, or they call them sectionals, playing on her phone, whatever, I don't care. I saw past that. But my son, in that moment, the whole book is full of his handwriting, and I always left it next to her nightstand if he ever came over. And I should have brought the book with me. I didn't even know I was planning on doing this till I realized, God, he's a mile away. My husband would probably be really upset with me, but I was going to bring that book, but you know.
Where was I? Oh, so going back a couple years, I had asked my aunt and uncle, can you talk to Thad? That's my stepfather, and try to like reason whatever. And they told me, like, there's nothing. He's horrible to work with too. And since then, so not to give you too much family history, my grandmother, her mother died. I want to say 2 months ago now. And I talked to my aunt and uncle since then, and they said as soon as we bury grandma, like, we're done. Not with me, but with her. So at this point, I have zero connections to anything having to do with her. The way I always describe it,
Because it's toxic.
it's horrendous.
Yeah.
And anybody, like, everything she touches gets destroyed, relationship wise. So much so, like, I don't, there's nobody else connected to her for me to reach out to that I have a connection to. Makes sense.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'll trespass her from here, and hopefully she understands. Okay. So if you wanna, I'll stay here. So I don't wanna. If you'll go ahead and start walking up there. You got a license?
I do. It's by the front door. I could bring it to you if you'd like.
Okay.
To.
Let me. Before you do that, I'll holler for you. I'll blow the horn after she leaves.
I know you're not an attorney, but is it possible to do an injunction as well?
Well, what you would have to do is get copies of any and all reports.
Okay.
What in the counties in which they got reported in.
Okay.
Get them together. Go to the clerk of the court's office and get a injunction packet. They have them there. They're $5 or $8 or whatever. And I would fill them out while they're there because they use them big words like mayonnaise and carburetor that you may not understand.
Sure.
You can ask a question while you're there and get it filled out.
All right, I appreciate it, sir. I'll be by the front door. I got a window right here, so if you just want to holler at me again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That'd be great. I appreciate
All right, thank you.
But now I don't know what he's telling him, that I'm crazy. I mean, he sent me a letter and said I was the worst mom ever. After I heard years of, I'm going to be just like you. I'm going to work my butt off to earn what I got. I'm not going to live out the government. I'm going to try. He went to Afghanistan for a year and paid off all his student loans. What's not to be proud of? But this behavior is not my kid. It's almost like it's abuse, but coming from her. He was never like, he asked my permission whether to marry her or not, and I said I can't answer that. But I knew I was walking on eggshells around her because I'm outgoing, and my kids always thought I was funny, and their kids love me. I made her nervous. Now here we are. Everything gets returned. He's going to throw the card away. I stopped sending gifts because it was too painful. He'd wait a whole year and UPS would come by, and it was candy. It was never anything elaborate. I didn't want him to feel like, oh, Mom's trying to buy me off with this Dollar Tree stuff that usually had some kind of a Christmas theme. And everything would turn around and come back in the mail unopened a whole year later, birthdays, everything. And I quit doing that because it was too hard on me. But he hasn't even checked, Mom, have you gotten some counseling? Are you sad because I left? Or none of that. He hasn't even bothered to find out. He doesn't care other than let me call the cops. And I can guarantee you he's throwing away that card right now. Okay, so I'm batshit crazy, right?
I'm sorry.
Did he say it was bad?
I didn't hear none of that. And,
Okay.
he owns that property.
I get it. I'm not on his property, and I'll never come back here. I mean, I want my kid back.
He wants you trespassed from here, okay? Which means if you ever return here, you will be arrested.
I have no reason to.
Do you have a driver's license?
I did. I had it out. What I do with it?
You set it on the seat.
I just stopped.
Are you okay to drive?
Not right now. Not right now.
You want to just pull over?
Yeah. My husband's gonna be so mad at me.
Why?
because over the last 4 years he said, Gene, don't do it. You know, he already thinks you're crazy. Don't do it. All the gifts would come back after a year returned unopened. Then he'd say crazy things like, I tried to kill myself when they got married. I'm like, where does this shit come up from? I don't.
Okay. Well, I recommend that you not call anybody while you're driving if it's going to upset you.
It is. I'm pretty upset.
If you're going to
really
upset, you keep interrupting me, ma'am. If you're going to do that, pull over on the side of the road. It's not worth somebody else getting hurt. Again, you are trespassed from this address. If you return, then you are subject to go to jail.
I don't want to go to jail.
Okay.
I did a DUI when I was 18 and I'm done.
Okay.
I promise to God I'm not crazy like he told you I was.
Oh, he didn't tell me you were crazy,
Well,
man.
why doesn't he want me here? Why doesn't he want me here? Did he say I threatened his wife?
From the past incidents that have happened.
It's all her.
And I
know this is domestic or whatever you call it.
No, it's just, so anyway, you got any questions?
No.
Okay.
I really thought he came out because he saw the SUV to talk to me, and he didn't.
No.
I'm a grandma.
No.
But you know what? The next thing is they'll be 18 and they can decide for themselves, you know. There's always two sides to every story.
Yes, ma'am.
And he believes his side is right, you know. You got to give him that.
Yes, ma'am.
Probably some of what he said was right. I'm not perfect. I never claimed to be, but I raised a kid on my own. I just really hate the Brazilians. I really do.
Okay, if you want to pull up and turn around, because they own out to the center of the road.
Right here.
Yeah, they own right out to the center of the road.
I'm never coming back here.
Okay, all right.
What could
Thank you.